Welcome to CandleLight Audiobook. The Secret Misses. Chapter 561. What? Priceless treasure? Are you kidding me? Aaliyah yelled at him. Maya's expression changed and he stopped her. What nonsense are you talking about? The one who's talking is Elder George. Who's Elder George? Aaliyah asked, confused. He's from the family that trades jades and gemstones. The one and only George. Maya reminded her exasperatedly. Ah, so that's who he is, but it's impossible. When we were gossiping with Emma over tea the last time, she mentioned that she bought a $150,000 jade as a present. Did I hear wrongly? No, she did say that the last time, but Elder George can't be wrong. That'd be blasphemy. As she heard George's declaration and the heated discussion between Aaliyah and Maya, there was a slight displeasure in Emma's expression, but she still remained calm. She was sure that she had heard that Luna bought the bracelet for $150,000. How could that be wrong? Although George was respectable and had been assessing jades for his whole life, could he have made a mistake this time? Actually, not many people present that night knew much about jade. Emma's friends were just making passing comments earlier, and some people started to echo along as they saw her friends speaking so confidently about it. However, now that Elder George had declared it to be a priceless treasure, everyone was not sure who to listen to. Even Julian was confused. Although he was just a hobbyist and was not as skillful as George at assessing jade, he did know a thing or two about precious stones. Luna's jade was all right, but it sure did not look like something as exaggerated as a priceless treasure. Julian had a lot of questions in his mind. Elder George, what do you mean? What priceless treasure? George dared not to jump to conclusions, so he spoke up. Julian, do you mind letting me take a look at the bracelet? Julian handed it over. After looking at it for some time, he took out a magnifying glass from his shirt pocket and stared at one of the beads with clear excitement. What actually do you see? Julian asked impatiently. The bystanders looked on curiously as well, discussing and not believing for a minute that this jade was a priceless treasure. It must have been a mistake on George's part due to his old age. Luna, are you sure the jade is fine? Olivia asked, still worried that Emma had done something to it. Luna shrugged innocently. I can guarantee that when I bought it, it was still fine. Could Jade Treasury have possibly given her some flawed jade? The worker who had served her much later looked really kind. Had he been bribed by Millie? Luna started raising her own suspicions. In the end, when George was done assessing, he suddenly took off a jade bead bracelet from his wrist and showed it to Julian. Julian, what do you think of my bracelet? Julian flew into a jealous rage. You old fellow, that's enough. Isn't that the bracelet your grandchild got you? Is it not enough after showing it off 800 times? Chapter 562. Julian's words made his friends laugh. You're being annoying here, George, you've been telling everyone you meet. Your grandson gave it to you and he begged Master Xian Jing for consecration for a few months. Our ears are tired from listening to you talk about how filial your grandson is. You know that Elder Brown really respected Master Xian Jing and he tried to ask for a consecration before but was rejected. Stop showing off in front of him. Ha ha ha, it's Elder Brown's birthday today, stop provoking him. Is it really rare to have this Master Xian Jing to consecrate a bracelet? A person from the crowd asked after listening to the discussion. George put on a serious expression and answered, of course. Master Xian Jing is a genuine, eminent monk and he doesn't do consecrations for just anyone. It doesn't matter how much money you give, no means no. It's all about being sincere and most importantly, having an affinity. Such a bracelet is super rare. Isn't that what you call a priceless treasure? Master Xian Jing kept a low profile, so not many people knew about him, but for those who did gave their respect to him from the bottoms of their heart. It's really rare. I heard from someone I knew who has gone there personally and failed. Put sincerity aside, having an affinity is really difficult, it's such a vague concept. How does one even qualify as having affinity? Exactly, it's rare because of how difficult it is. Why do you think George was showing off for so long? He almost made it into his family treasure. Most importantly, it really has spiritual powers within it. He was so sick before. Wait, why did George suddenly talk about this? Weren't we looking at Elder Brown's bracelet? With some small pockets of discussion still going on, George looked at Luna's bracelet for some time again before he returned it to Julian. Then he turned to Luna and asked, "Little girl, you must have invested in a lot of effort to get this jade bead bracelet consecrated, didn't you?" What George meant was this bracelet consecrated by Xian Jing as well? How was this possible? It was so difficult to obtain. Just what in the world did this yokel do? Luna was speechless. She had no idea what just happened. Was this old man sure that the bracelet she had bought was worthy of such high praises? Would he believe her if she said she just spent $150,000 for this in jade treasury and that she did not know Master Xian Jing? Aaliyah was mumbling to Emma, "It was just a minor consecration by some monk. Is it really that surprising? To the point of calling it a priceless treasure?" Emma bit her lip and shook her head. "Aaliyah, don't say that. Grandfather is really respectful towards Master Xian Jing." This was the reason why the elder did not care about what Long Fanine said before, while Robert and Rebecca trusted him so blindly. The elder did not trust Long Fanine. So, even though she felt sour, she dared not say anything because Elder Brown really respected Master Xian Jing. Otherwise, she would be indirectly insulting Elder Brown. Aaliyah could not bear to see Emma like this. "Emma, why are you so easily bullied? I'll get even for you." Emma had successfully tricked Aaliyah to help her. She even made a pitiful face, and Aaliyah did not use much of her brain and bought her act. Chapter 563. In a situation like this, it would not have been appropriate for either Rebecca or Robert to speak up, but an outsider like Aaliyah was perfect for the role. Aaliyah started talking, "Even if it was consecrated by Master Jing Xian, can't you get a better bracelet? Don't you think it's inappropriate for the elder to wear something that cheap?" George could not hold it in anymore. He did not want to argue with the youngsters, but things were getting out of hand. "Little girl, is this bracelet not good enough? If you're talking about price, I can tell you that this is much more expensive than the one Emma gave." "What?" "Emma's bracelet cost about $2 million. Aaliyah exclaimed, her eyes wide. Even Emma and Maya were surprised, not to mention Rebecca and Robert. The first thing that came to their mind was, how in the world did she have so much money? This is impossible. George explained calmly, "This bracelet is made out of high-quality jadeite, and what makes it rare is the fact that all the beads are from the same source, plus the color is balanced perfectly as well. Of course, it would cost more than the other." Aaliyah frowned and raised his doubts. "George, are you sure you're not mistaken about this?" Without waiting for George's reaction, Julian spoke up unhappily, "Don't be ridiculous, little girl. How could George be wrong about this? Luna's bracelet is more expensive." He was trying not to embarrass Emma earlier, so he had kept quiet about it. Who knew that these ignorant brats would start rattling nonsense, and he had to explain it vocally. Even Elder Brown had already said something about it, so now everyone just had to believe it. That was unexpected. The adopted daughter's present is more expensive than Miss Brown's. How shocking. That's awkward. They got the same present, but hers lost in every aspect by comparison to the adopted daughter's present. Well, it seems like we've underestimated this girl. She has changed so much over the past 5 years. I've been wanting to ask since earlier. Is she really the girl from before? I almost couldn't recognize her. She looks really pretty now. Right. She didn't even look presentable even with gorgeous dresses the last time, but now she has such a special aura around her now. Emma's face darkened instantly. Not only was Luna's bracelet consecrated by Master Xian Jing, it was even more expensive than hers. How was this possible? The few artistes told her that they had seen Luna buy a jade bead bracelet costing slightly over just $100,000. What happened here? Damn it, she had invested so much effort into this, yet in the end, she was the one who was embarrassed. Not only did she lose in terms of the sincerity and value of the present, but she had also helped Luna to shine in the limelight. George patted Julian's back. Julian, you're really blessed. No wonder you wanted to adopt her, she's really a good kid. Most importantly, she was able to ask for a consecration from Master Xian Jing, a blessing indeed. Right, Julian, how old is your granddaughter now? What's her zodiac sign? She should be around the same age as my grandson, yes? Julian held the jade bead bracelet dearly. When he heard what George said, he said guardedly, "Old man, what are you trying to do? What are you plotting for my granddaughter?" Chapter 564. Adopted? She was his real granddaughter. You old man, how is that plotting? My grandson is handsome and filial, I wouldn't even have thought about it if your granddaughter wasn't pretty and lacked affinity. Only now you realize that my granddaughter is pretty. Not everyone is worthy of her, show me your grandson's picture first. He had actually met George's grandson a few years ago, but who knew how he looked like now? It might be you who's plotting something after you see his picture. Luna groaned, ugh. Why did conversations always go the other way? Did the elders always have such active thought patterns? Probably not. 80% of the time when elder people gathered together, their conversations would end up with this topic. Wait, that was not the main point. What happened to her $150,000 bracelet which she had got with a 20% discount and was now valued as a $2 million bracelet that was consecrated by Master Xian Jing? Jade Treasury. The sudden change in the worker's attitude. Could it be? How about it, Elder Brown? Isn't my mason handsome? George said proudly. Julian's eyes brightened when he saw the handsome gentleman's picture. Pictures nowadays can be photoshopped, it's not good enough as proof. George was annoyed. Hey, old man, if you don't believe me, I'll bring him here personally the next time and you can see for yourself, okay? That sounds about right. Just in a blink of an eye, Luna was set up for a blind date. What's the situation right now? Grandfather, please calm down, She looked helplessly at both the elders chatting happily, totally ignoring her. Olivia laughed looking at Luna's expression. Actually, Elder George's grandson is a pretty nice person, you should meet him. Luna put her hand to her forehead. I'm not in the mood for this right now. A worried thought passed through Olivia's mind. Luna, could it be possible that you still haven't gotten over Liam? Speaking of the devil, a maid suddenly came rushing in and reported, Master, your son-in-law is here. Everyone turned around and looked towards the entrance. Son-in-law? Who? Who else? The only one who's engaged in the Brown family right now is Emma, of course, it's Liam from the Johnson family. A man in a black outfit walked in with an assistant holding a rectangular box behind him. As soon as they saw him, Aaliyah said, Emma, your husband's here, quickly go greet him. Stop saying that, he's not my husband yet. Seeing the charming man in front of him, Emma's heart raced quickly, all her unhappy thoughts about what happened earlier instantly vanishing. Maya went along with Aaliyah as well. You've already agreed to his proposal, haven't you? Aaliyah kept on staring at him. Oh my, Liam's becoming more and more handsome. Emma blushed, then walked towards Liam elegantly. Liam, you're here. Chapter 565. Liam held the girl's tender hands gently. They smiled and looked at each other lovingly, then walked towards Julian together. He wore a black suit and she wore a white long dress, a perfect match for each other. They immediately became the focus of those in the banquet hall. Rebecca and Robert had a relieved expression on their faces. Elder Brown was proud of his grandson-in-law and he greeted him with a kind smile. Liam, you're here. In the previous years, the Johnson family had not allowed Liam to be in a relationship with Luna due to her infamous identity. Although she had gone back to the Brown family after that, there was no announcement of her real identity to the public. Luna had been dating Liam in secret until she fell pregnant. As she could not hide it anymore, she told her family about her relationship with Liam. At that time, Liam was out of contactable range as he was abroad. Rebecca did not believe her and forced her to stay at home, and she warned her not to let anyone know about her pregnancy before Liam came back. So, until now the elder never knew Luna had been pregnant before. Brown International was not very stable, so the elder did not have much time at home. What he knew was that Luna had been sent overseas for education after she had recovered from some illness. Then, Liam, who had been visiting their home frequently, had started dating Emma. Grandfather, happy birthday. Liam took the rectangle box from his assistant and handed it to the elder. The elder smiled while nodding. Good. Liam gave the elder a famous priceless scroll painting. It was not just Luna's jade bead bracelet, but all the presents looked practically worthless compared to his, and everyone gushed over it. The Brown family sure is generous. Just a simple birthday gift, but they gave a priceless antique. With the Johnson family's power, they can definitely find someone from a better family, but why are they so fixated on Emma? Let me tell you, it was said that Master Long assessed their birthdays before and concluded Ms. Brown has the fortune to make her husband prosper, and many suitors came to them, but she had already picked Liam. Ah, I know about Master Long. I heard he's really good. Actually, I've been wanting to ask since just now, who's this Master Xian Jing they have been talking about? I've never heard of him. Isn't Long Fanine the most reputable one in the industry? Of course, it's Long Fanine. The elders simply trust those temples and monks more, they are just too old-fashioned. The real experts are among us. Olivia felt nervous as she saw Liam. From her keen observation, she had already found out about Luna and Liam long ago, and she was worried about Luna. As she was about to comfort Luna, Liam and Emma walked towards them. Liam looked at Luna and smiled. You're here too, Luna. Grandfather must be very happy. Luna nodded expressionlessly. How are you recently? Liam asked in a concerned tone. Still all right. Luna, let's meet up when you have some free time. As Liam wanted to continue, Rebecca rushed towards them. She had seen Luna talking to Liam and she desperately wanted to separate them. Emma, Liam, I've been looking for you everywhere. Go and welcome the guests. Okay, Mother. Sister, please excuse me. Emma gave Luna a smug glance after her mother covered for her. Chapter 566. The banquet hall was getting crowded as more guests arrived, and Luna recognized some of them. The lady who was chatting with Emma intimately at that moment was Helen, whom Luna met at the audition in Las Vegas. The one beside her should be her mother, the president of Ling Horizon Fashion, Guo Hui. Robert and Rebecca were welcoming her warmly. Despite the constant flow of guests, Emma was able to chat up with almost all of them. The guests looked at Emma in a different light, awed by her. This girl is really something, she has such a wide connection despite her young age. Sigh, it's really frustrating when I compare my kid at home with her. She always dreamed about being a star, but after spending so much money, there isn't even a shadow of her on screen. Unlike Emma with her own business and her own company. A servant who was serving guests outside suddenly came rushing in and panted, Master, outside, outside. Robert asked sternly, what's happened outside? Do you know how inappropriate it is for you to freak out in front of the guests? The servant continued worriedly, no, Master. There are important guests. Very important guests. Robert was still unhappy. Who is it that made you freak out? With the Brown family's position, the servant did not need to freak out even if the guests were from a renowned family. In the corner, Luna was curious of the servant's expression. Who did Emma involve herself with this time? The servant explained, just now, there was a car stopped in front of the entrance, but no one came out of the car. It was just parked there, so I paid it no mind, but the car looked really prestigious. Then, I checked the number plate and it seems like, it's a car from the Goldberg family. Upon hearing the servant, Robert and Rebecca were concerned. What? Goldberg family? Which Goldberg family? The servant trembled, Goldberg Corporation. Luna spurted out her fruit juice. What? Goldberg Corporation? Could it be, Theo? It could not be. Why would the devil be here? Olivia, I'll excuse myself to make a phone call first. Luna was still worried as she went outside to give Theo a call. The phone call was picked up after ringing only once and a man's deep voice came through, "Hey." It was quiet on the other side of the phone and she could not determine where he was. Luna gulped and asked, "Hey, Theo, where are you right now?" "At the entrance of the Brown residence." Luna was annoyed. "What are you doing? Why are you here?" "Because you didn't come back. Little Treasure was crying for you." Her hard features softened when she heard about her baby Little Treasure. I'm really sorry. I didn't expect to stay here for so long either, but I'm going to be done soon and I'll be back as quick as I can." We'll wait for you." Luna was speechless. She actually meant for him to go back with Little Treasure first. What if something happened and she had to stay longer? As she was thinking of how to persuade them to leave first, there was a noise from the other end of the line, like the phone was being passed, and a weak voice came through this time. "Sister-in-law, I was almost frozen to icicles by this two cold people while waiting for you. When will you be done? Please come back soon." Chapter 567. Cleo was here as well? Ugh. Luna was utterly speechless. Why did all of them come together? As Luna was speaking to Theo, Robert, Rebecca, and Thomas were on their way to the entrance. Because the servant caused quite a scene and drew the attention of some of the guests, they looked outside and guessed, "Who's here? What's with the commotion? Robert is going to welcome them personally." Even Thomas followed along. "I heard that it's someone from the Goldberg family." "The Goldberg family? You must be kidding." It was as if the emperor himself was visiting an officer's home suddenly and staying for dinner. It was impossible. "I don't think it's possible as well, but I heard the servant from Brown family say it himself. There's a car with the Goldberg family's number plate parked outside." Could he be mistaken? It might be true, but although it's a car from the Goldberg family, who knows if the head honcho actually came? It's quite impossible. They might have just sent someone over to leave a gift for the elder. That's the best possibility I can come up with. That makes sense. If they are somewhat involved, the Brown family really is something. What makes them deserve such luck? Could it be that Master Long's prediction is really true? At the Brown residence entrance. "Where are the people you were talking about?" Robert asked the servant nervously. "Still in the car," the servant answered in a trembling voice while sweating. "Why are they not out yet?" I have no idea." They did not do anything further after the car was parked there. Robert stayed silent for a while, then spoke up, "Fine, I can't blame them for acting high and mighty. They are from the Goldberg family anyway. I'll greet them personally. You, be careful of what comes out of your mouth later." Thomas was upset. "What? I can't even speak freely now. Do you not get the situation? I'm not in the mood to argue with you. Just stay put, or else, it won't be pretty if the guest is offended." Robert yelled at him. Thomas understood the importance of the situation and acquiesced. "Okay, I'll just keep my mouth shut, all right?" Robert went up with Rebecca, Thomas, and a few servants, straightening his back and walking to the black Maybach. There was a small gap in the car window that was left open, and the people inside would surely be able to hear voices from the outside. Robert greeted passionately, "Dear guests, it's my honor to see you here tonight. Please come inside." A second went by, 2 seconds went by, 3 seconds went by. Robert's smile stayed frozen, but nothing happened. Could it be that they had not heard it? Robert coughed softly and continued, "It must be a long trip here. Please come inside and get some drinks." It was completely silent. Robert's face darkened and he asked a servant behind him, "Are you sure that there are people inside?" "Absolutely, no one came down from the car since it was parked here. There must be someone inside," the servant spoke with utmost confidence. Robert's frown deepened. What was happening? Why did the people not come down? He already come to greet them personally. Had he made any mistakes? Chapter 568. Suddenly, Rebecca thought of something and she quickly pulled Robert aside. "Robert, come over here." "What is it?" "Do you think these people from the Goldberg family are here for Emma?" Rebecca asked. Emma? Yeah. There are also a lot of guests who are here for Emma today, isn't it? Some of them even said they are Emma's fans. Emma's studio has been doing really well recently. So. Robert's expression brightened up. That makes sense, but I have never heard anything about it from Emma. Let's just ask her. I'll get her here now. Okay, quickly. Robert urged. The group retreated back to the entrance. Father, Mother, what has happened? Why did you call me here so urgently? Robert looked at her seriously. Emma, be honest, are you affiliated with anyone from the Goldberg Corporation? Emma tilted her head. Goldberg Corporation? Yes. Robert looked nervous. Not really. Emma answered without hesitation. She would be glad to know someone from there though. However, no matter how capable she was, it was really difficult to get in touch with the Goldberg family. Robert looked at the car carefully. Emma, think again, a car from the Goldberg family is parked right outside our house now. What? Emma was shocked. She looked over at the car and tried to remember. Can you remember anything? Were you in contact with anyone from the Goldberg Corporation recently? Rebecca asked. After a short while, Emma quickly said, Mother, I remember something. At a cocktail party a few days ago, I met Theo's personal assistant, Alex, and he asked me about history. Rebecca was excited. Ah. Why didn't you tell us about such an important news? Emma blushed. He was just asking casually, why would I bring this up? Robert was really surprised. Emma, you're still so innocent. His personal assistant already made contact with you, obviously. They are interested in your studio, they might even ask for a cooperation. No wonder they sent someone over for your grandfather's birthday. Let's go, we'll greet the honored guests together. Emma felt that it was quite likely and she was really excited, but she tried to hide it. All right, Father. Then, the three of them walked to the car once again. The window gap was too small to see anything inside, but one could still see that there was a figure sitting in the car. Emma took a deep breath before saying, Is that you, Mr. Cheng? I didn't know that you were here. I apologize for the lack of hospitality from us. Thank you for making this trip. Emma went on courteously. Yet, nothing happened. It was as if there wasn't anyone in the car. The three of them looked at each other in confusion. What was going on? Why was the person just parking right in front of their house? He or she couldn't have come all the way here just for a parking, could they? Was the scenery here that attractive? How odd. Chapter 569. As Theo and the little bun were here, Luna excused herself after finishing the birthday cake. Grandfather, it's late, I need to go back. The elder had no more reason to keep her here, so he held her hand reluctantly and told her, remember to come back and visit often. Of course. Luna nodded. You always give me empty promises, I wonder when will be the next time you actually come back. Well, it's time for you to go now, it's late already. I'll ask a driver to send you back. It's okay, Grandfather, a friend is here to send me back. Okay, be careful on the way back. Goodbye, Grandfather. After bidding farewell to Grandfather and Olivia, Luna rushed out with a giddy sort of happiness. Oh, to see the little bun. Precious little bun. As she reached the entrance, she almost bumped into Robert, Rebecca, and Emma. Emma went up to her as soon as she saw her. Sister, are you leaving now? Luna grunted impatiently. The little bun was just right in front of her and she was being blocked, irking her greatly. Sister, it's difficult to get a taxi here this late. Why don't you wait for a little while? I'll have Liam send you back after the banquet is finished. Emma suggested because she knew that someone would definitely be someone against this idea. Rebecca quickly pulled Emma aside. Emma, you silly child, why are you so naive? Mother, it's really late now, it'd be dangerous for sister to go back alone. Rebecca signaled Emma not to say another word, then she walked up to Luna with an unkind expression and questioned her in a straightforward manner. Luna, what are you trying to do? Luna calmly crossed her arms and answered slowly, "What do you think I'm trying to do, Madam Brown?" Rebecca sneered at her disdainfully, "All you want is just money, isn't it? And here I was thinking how diligent you could be. It's not that you don't want to join the company, but you're so ambitious that you only want to join the main company." Luna raised her eyebrows. "I want to join the main company? Don't you dare tell me that you didn't think about it. Otherwise, why would you do all the things you did today to please your grandfather? Always using all these tricks. Now that you know how difficult it is to survive in the outside world, you want to come back. It's too late." Suddenly, the door of the Maybach opened slowly. When Rebecca noticed the door opening, she totally ignored Luna and pushed her behind, then nudged Emma to the front. "Seems like Assistant Alex is coming down. Emma, go." Emma was astounded to see the one disembarking from the car was not Alex. It was the Goldberg family's second master, Cleo. Unlike the elusive Theo, Cleo led a high-profile life. His face was so well known that no one could ever mistaken it. The Goldberg family's second master was here personally. What an honor. His heart was racing just thinking about the reactions of the guests, his father's shock and Thomas's jealousy when they all saw Cleo. Chapter 570. Emma was completely dumbfounded. She thought it was an assistant from the Goldberg Corporation who would be in the car. If the car did not have Theo's personal car plate number on, she would not even have thought about his personal assistant. Alex was one of Theo's most trusted personnel and had a considerable amount of power in the Goldberg Corporation. He did not usually appear personally and would normally send his underlings for small matters. She was mind-blown that Theo's brother, Cleo, was here. She saw the admiration glowing in the eyes of Rebecca, and Emma's pride was boosted to its peak as she suppressed her excitement and went forward to greet the man. Second master. After Robert had calmed himself down, he put on his persona as the company's president and walked slowly towards Cleo. "Welcome to our abode, Mr. Goldberg." Robert extended his hand for a handshake as he was talking halfway. In a turquoise blue outfit, Cleo simply acted as if the three of them did not exist and walked right past them, going up to Luna as if he was about to cry. "Sis." Luna gave him an intense glare as sharp as throwing knives, and Cleo quickly stopped before he could say, "Sister-in-law." Cleo had an awkward expression on his face as he spoke weakly, "Luna, you're finally out. I'm so hungry from waiting for you. Get in the car quickly. Are you trying to lose your job by making your boss wait for so long?" Cleo made a shift in his character by acting like her superior, but it barely felt dignified at all. Luna sighed in relief. This wide-mouthed bastard. She was almost scared to death by him. When would he learn to observe the environment before he spoke? This bastard was still her superior by name, so she could neither hit nor scold him. She could only keep it all inside. Cleo did not mind at all and smiled at her. "Ah, are you too shocked from the fact that I'm here for you personally? It's okay, I was on the way. Get in the car. Quickly." Cleo could feel two scorching stares aimed at him and tormenting his soul, so he then quickly pushed Luna into the car and closed the door swiftly. Good. All done. Mission accomplished. Finally, he had picked up the devil's treasure, Luna. He did not care about the expression of the three people behind him, adjusted his necktie, got into the driver's seat and drove away. The black Maybach fading out of sight. Robert, Rebecca and Emma still could not believe what just happened. They just stared blankly at the direction where the car had gone off in. The person they had been trying to greet for a long time. The second master of the Goldberg Corporation, Cleo, came personally. Just to pick Luna up? How? Impossible. Moreover, although Cleo had sounded like he was blaming Luna, his tone was rather friendly, like friends joking with each other, as if they were very close. Rebecca felt really embarrassed. She had only just accused Luna of not doing well outside and that she was back to claim something from the family. Now, she was involved with someone like Cleo. Chapter 571. Robert did not feel any less shocked than his wife. He also felt a tinge of regret and envy. He had been trying so hard to get in contact with the Goldberg Corporation, yet his useless daughter was friends with Cleo? Damn it, what a mistake. How could he forget? Luna was with Glory World Entertainment now, and rumor had it that Luna had been invited to join the company personally by Cleo and that he really valued her. He had always thought that Luna was just a small chess pawn and that the arrangement was nothing more than just a business strategy. Who would have guessed that they would be friends? Emma, has Luna always been this close to the Goldberg family's second master? Robert asked quietly. Emma clenched her fist tightly and stared at the direction Luna left, only reacting after she heard Robert's question. I'm not so sure about this, Father. I guess you've heard about the second master's personality as well. He's not as unapproachable as Theo and he's always friendly towards his colleagues. Luna was recruited by him personally and she helped him win over Starlight Entertainment, so it's understandable that they are on friendly terms with each other. Robert nodded. I see. If we could get in contact with Cleo, it would be a lot more useful than just a small assistant like Ching Fong. Emma's face froze and she felt embarrassed. It'd be great if we could, but, Father, you know that sister has a great misunderstanding of us now. Maybe I could go and beg her? Rebecca could not keep quiet any longer. Why should you? Cleo has always been friendly with many people. How long will he remember her for? There are so many new artists joining the company every day, he will forget all about her soon. He was just here to pick her up on the way today. Suddenly, an idea popped up in Robert's mind. Emma, do you think that maybe Cleo is interested in Luna? Emma knew what Robert was thinking since she had thought about it too, but she instantly rejected the thought. Father, it doesn't seem very possible. Almost everyone in the industry knows that Cleo would never mess with his own artists. Robert sighed. He knew that from their earlier exchange too, but he thought it would do no harm to ask about it. It would be an immensely helpful resource even if they could just have the tiniest of ties to the Goldberg family, and it was the second in command of the Goldberg Corporation, Cleo, who they were talking about. Maybe, this useless daughter still had some value in her that they could exploit. As the three of them returned to the banquet hall, many people went up to them and asked if someone from the Goldberg family had come. They lied and said it was a relative of theirs and not anyone from the Goldberg Corporation. In the car, Luna put the sleepy little bun on her lap, feeling her heart ache to see the little bun's sleepy face. She tried to pat him to sleep while talking. I've already said that I'll be late, why didn't you wait for me at home? Cleo stared at his brother and complained to Luna, well, I'd have really loved to, but the both of them couldn't wait at all. They were fidgeting here the whole time because you were 5 minutes late past your promised 2 hours. His face was so terrifying when you didn't pick up his call just now. He couldn't wait anymore after you texted him that you'll be late and Little Treasure also started torturing me. So in the end, I had to drive them all the way here and wait for you. Finally, we arrived and then suddenly you were blocked, so I had to go down and get you into the car. Chapter 572. Ugh. Luna looked at the little bun who was now sound asleep, and then looked at the devil who was still working. The devil was looking through his documents with a calm expression, as if he was just here to accompany the little bun. She could understand that the little bun was impatient, but it was difficult to imagine the devil flustered by a trivial matter like this. Was Cleo exaggerating? Theo noticed the girl's gaze on him, so he looked up and asked, "Is everything all right?" Luna quickly replied, "It's nothing, I just went back home for a visit." Theo did not believe her casual reply, but he did not push further. "Oh, right, Theo, I have something to ask you." Luna peeked up. Luna frowned. "So, I bought a jade bead bracelet for my grandfather's birthday at your shop Jade Treasury for $120,000 and a 20% discount, but why was it that when I gave it to my grandfather today, someone said it's worth over $2 million and that it had been consecrated by a monk?" Theo only gave her a bisyllable reply after her long-winded question, "Was it?" Luna squinted her eyes and pouted. He was obviously acting like he did not know anything. "Did you make your employees do that?" Luna asked directly. Theo answered expressionlessly, "I was overseas then." Luna blinked her eye. "Oh, right, you were in Philadelphia then." If he was overseas, how did he know what happened and how could he have sent people to help her? "That's weird, then what happened?" That old man seemed like an expert. He didn't look like he could have been mistaken. Hey, Theo, as a boss, aren't you concerned that your worker sold me something at a wrong price? Luna mumbled. Theo nodded. I'll reward him later. Luna was speechless. Cleo blurted, I'm full already all of a sudden. Full of your doses of love. Luna gave up arguing with Theo. She had something that troubled her more and gave her a splitting headache. Speaking of which, this bracelet got me on an awkward blind date. What? What? Cleo was shocked. If he had a tail behind him, it would have been wagging vigorously now, his gossip mode turned on. Luna, what blind date? Blind date. Theo's calm expression was slowly turning into a brooding storm. Luna held her chin in her hand and sighed. It was that old man who recognized the origins of my bracelet. Because he has a bracelet given by his grandson which was consecrated too, he said that we're very similar. Then, he chatted to my grandfather and suddenly wanted to introduce me to his grandson. My grandfather probably thought it was a good idea after he saw the grandson's picture, so he agreed and even set up a time. He even reminded me about this before I left. Cleo was clearly entertained. Wow. Then, Luna, are you going? What was happening? Sister-in-law had just gone out for a few hours and a new romantic rival appeared. How competitive. Chapter 573. Cleo was shocked and he looked at Luna through the rearview mirror nervously. Luna, you're even more unrestrained than I am. You wouldn't really abandon your principles and go to the blind date, would you? Luna's mouth twitched. What unrestrained? No matter how look, it was my grandfather's arrangement, all right? I realize that his health condition is getting worse and all his hair has turned white. Cleo thought that they were done for, his brother was in deep trouble. Luna, there are a lot of ways to express your filiality. Don't rush, you won't really attend the blind date, would you? Cleo kept asking. He then glanced at his brother and thought there would be some form of reaction, but his brother just sat there quietly and did not do anything. Cleo was even more terrified of such a reaction. Theo was too quiet, which was not a good sign. It was more like the dead silence after a vigorous struggle. He wanted to appear with her in public, to protect her personally and to kiss her in front of everyone. Even when she had dressed as a guy, he wanted to tell everyone that she was his and that no one was allowed to come near. But now that he did not even have the right to be with her, he could not do anything. He was in a special position and currently, Luna was at a critical point in her career. If she was found involved with him, all her efforts would be deemed useless as everyone would think that she was successful because she relied on her intimate relationship with him. He loved to see her fight passionately for her dream and he did not want to ruin it. As Luna was thinking of a plan to settle this problem, her eyes met with Theo's. What kind of eyes were those? They looked cold and distant, as if nothing could penetrate into his world, but she could see right into his deepest nooks, his emotions burning her passionately with the temperature of magma lava. The car was deafening with silence. Cleo looked at his brother, then looked at Luna and his handsome face darkened. Hey, both of you, can you guys be considerate to others while you two stare into each other's eyes lovingly? A while later. Cleo, okay, my bad, I don't exist at all, please continue to ignore me. At Regal Riviera Hotel. After sending Luna and the little bun back to the apartment, Cleo did not leave immediately. Instead he looked at Luna with a pitiful face. Sister-in-law, I'm really hungry now and it'd be great if I can have a taste of your steamboat dishes. Luna held the little bun in her arms and squinted her eyes coldly. What did you just call me? Bro. Luna. Cleo changed instantly. Luna looked satisfied, then asked, didn't you guys have dinner? We went straight to your place after work. I just had some snacks in the car. My brother did not eat anything at all. Cleo kept complaining. He had yet to find out how Luna was going to handle the blind date and he would not be able to sleep if he did not know what was going to happen. Luna looked helplessly at him. Thank goodness she had brought little treasure for a meal before she sent him over. Otherwise, he would have been starving together with them as well. She knew that men were all useless at taking care of kids. Because the staring contest earlier was probably too intense, Luna avoided Theo's gaze and threw her hands up in surrender. Fine, come up to my place, I am a little hungry as well. Chapter 574. When they passed by the receptionist, Luna looked bitter as she mumbled, "How annoying." "What happened?" Cleo asked. Luna said, her heart aching, "There was a super cute girl as the receptionist here previously. I even gave her a box of lipstick on her first day here. We were on really good terms. She always shares some gossip with me every now and then, but then she was suddenly moved away and the current receptionist is an uncle. Ugh, I'm so angry, give me back my cute girl." Ugh. Cleo's first reaction was to turn over to look at the calm and innocent-looking brother. Who else would do something like that? His brother's romantic rivals were everywhere. It was busy enough for him to just take care of them every day. After they went up and got out of the lift, Luna walked towards her home and then abruptly stopped at the junction, suddenly stepping backwards. "Luna, what happened? Anything wrong?" Cleo was confused. Theo already saw someone standing in front of her door and he frowned. Luna sighed, "Liam." "What? Liam? Your first love? What about him?" "He's right in front of my door." Cleo opened his eyes wide. "What? What is he trying to do, waiting for you outside your door at midnight?" "Luna, I'll beat him up for you." Luna rolled her eyes at Cleo, then went to Theo. "Help me hold little treasure for now, I'll go and settle whatever it is with him." "I'll be quick." Theo nodded. Cleo looked at his brother's gentle expression, impressed by his brother's calm act in front of his wife. A thunderstorm was probably brewing in his mind. Liam had a cigarette between his fingers as he leaned on Luna's door, looking deep in thought. He only noticed Luna when she was right in front of him, acknowledging her as he looked up. "Luna, you're back." Luna nodded slightly. "Has the banquet ended?" I sent Shualua back here, so I decided to come here and pay you a visit as well. I thought you'd be home a long time ago." "Did something happen?" Liam was concerned, he did not know she was picked up by Cleo. "Nope, there was a jam." "What's up?" Luna replied half-heartedly. Cleo had been talking to her all the way home, driving at the speed of a snail. "It was too busy back there just now and I didn't have time to talk to you properly." Liam looked at her as if he wanted to say something else. "It's quite late already, why don't you just tell me here?" Liam hesitated. "There's something I wanted to remind you, Luna. I'm afraid that it would be a little awkward if you decide to go back to the Brown family now." "Oh? What's awkward?" Luna raised her eyebrows and questioned. Under the dim light, her bright eyes shone beautifully. Liam's breathing slowed down and her beauty stole his breath away. He nearly forgot what he wanted to say and only broke out of his reverie after a while. Chapter 575. He looked awkwardly at her as he realized his mistake and he coughed lightly. Brown International's framework and foundation was laid down the past 5 years, and if an extra heir was suddenly thrown into the equation, the outcome would be devastating. Luna gave the man in front of her a teasing look, casually taking a harmless swipe at him. "What if I really wanted Brown International?" Liam's face darkened when he heard her question, chastising her in a serious tone. "Stop messing around, Luna. This is too much. If you insist on doing such a thing, you'll get hurt in the end. They won't let you off easily if you affect the amount of benefits they get." Luna sneered. Their benefits, whose benefits? He always acted as if he cared but changed his stand the minute his benefits were involved. Liam saw Luna's incensed eyes and he quickly explained himself. "You've misunderstood me, Luna. I'm not doing this for myself, I'm not after the Brown family's wealth either. It's just that, I don't know what to do if you're in conflict with Emma." Luna stretched her back and glanced at him sideways. "What's the matter? Do you have any other choice aside from Emma when it comes to choosing between us?" Liam balled his fist tightly when he saw the girl's smirk and the mocking disdain in her eyes. He calmed himself down after a while, sighed and tried to avoid the girl's eyes. There would not have been any other choice if time were reversed. Even if he had another chance to choose what happened 5 years ago once again, he would still have chosen Emma without any hesitation. Regardless of Emma's mistake, he loved her to the point of selfishness and he chose to protect her to the ends of the earth. But now, he himself was not sure what was wrong with him. Ever since Luna had come back, his sight always lingered on her and his urges to be near her were getting stronger lately. He had always known what he wanted. Emma was the woman of his dreams, his perfect ideal partner. However, for some reason, what he thought he had known all along was falling apart. He should not have come looking for Luna this late at night to avoid any misunderstanding, but he still came. All because he wanted to see her, even if she wanted to be sarcastic with him. Liam calmed his turmoiled heart and started talking in a gentle tone. Luna, I'm telling you this for your own good. I hope that you can think about it. Give me a call if you ever need help with anything. As he was still trying to convey his message discreetly, he realized that he did not know what more to say at that point. I'll not bother you now, it's late already. Good night. From around the corner, Cleo's eyes recorded everything that was happening and he spoke quietly. My sixth sense is picking up an unusual aura. It seems like, the way Liam is looking at Luna is a little suspicious. Suddenly, Theo released the pressure he had been suppressing all night long with a loud whoosh of air. Cleo was terrified as he wiped his sweat and mumbled to himself, what situation am I in now? Bro, did you meddle with something weird lately? You're really unlucky with so many romantic rivals around, and for some reason, I've been feeling that something big is going to happen soon. I'm scared. Chapter 576. Luna brought little Treasure to sleep in the room after she entered her house, then she opened the fridge and looked for cooking ingredients for the soup base she was going to cook. Thanks to little Treasure, she had stocked up on a lot of food. All sorts of ingredients were available in her fridge. In fact, it was enough to prepare a steamboat feast anytime. Theo naturally took over the vegetables from her and helped to wash them. Luna looked at him and helped to roll his sleeves up for him. Cleo felt like he was the largest third wheel in the world at that moment, so he stayed in the living room and watched television alone. The ingredients were soon prepared, the steamboat soup base emitting an aromatic smell which was extremely tempting. Cleo could not wait anymore, so he rushed to the table and saw that the pot was separated into two sections. One contained clear soup base and the other was a piquant spicy soup. Cleo was confused. Luna, why did you make two soup bases? Your brother doesn't eat spicy food, she replied while setting up the table. Oh. Cleo bit on the chopsticks, then asked again, Luna. Do you like my brother? Luna choked as she was drinking some water, almost biting her own tongue. She then nervously looked at Theo. What are you talking about? Well, you've been treating my brother exceptionally well. Cleo mumbled. Would there be any subordinate who doesn't want to please their boss? Don't think too much about it, all right? If you're accusing me again, I'm going to give you a good beating. Luna handed Theo a pair of chopsticks after she clarified herself. Boss, don't listen to him. I'm always loyal to you and will never have weird thoughts about you. Theo took the chopsticks from her and looked at her. I don't mind. Cleo and Luna were speechless. After some munching, Cleo patted his stomach in satisfaction, having gained his strength to start gossiping again. Luna, can I ask you a question? What? How do you feel about Liam? Theo's hand twitched a little as he was serving Luna some vegetables. How do I feel? Well, I'm asking if you still can't get over him. Why must you make me say it so clearly? Luna rolled her eyes. Do you think it's possible? Cleo bit his chopsticks again. Why not? First love is usually the most unforgettable one, isn't it? He then glanced at his brother. Luna was his brother's first love. Why did everyone think she still could not get over Liam? First, it was Olivia and now Cleo. Luna munched on a roasted potato and said in dissatisfaction, the world is so huge that it contains so many hot guys out there. I'm not the shy little girl I was back then. There's no point staying on a tree when a jungle is waiting for me, alright? I already have someone I like in mind. Both Cleo and Theo straightened their backs at full attention. Cleo would never let this chance pass, so he quickly followed up. I've heard about it before, then who is it? What does he look like? Is he more handsome than I am? What kind of man could steal bro Luna heart away? Quickly tell me. Luna was annoyed by Cleo's excitement. Let me think. Quickly. Theo sat there in silence, not wanting to continue listening, but he could not leave, even though he knew that the answer was going to hurt him. Chapter 577. Luna touched her chin and stole a look at Theo as she thought very carefully before she answered. He is powerful and domineering, a man of multiple talents, an intellectual and a warrior, gentle and romantic, smart and brave, mature and stable, amazing and rare to meet, every woman's dream, and overall, a gift to mankind. Cleo and Theo were speechless. When Cleo finally recovered, his mouth twitched as he asked, "Are you sure you're talking about a human? Do you have exaggerate so much?" Theo could not really put into words how he felt at that moment. Luna's description was a little over the top, but it was through her description that one would know how perfect that person was in her heart. If you knew who he was, you definitely wouldn't think I'm exaggerating. Luna mumbled. Cleo asked, "Who is he then?" Luna squinted her eyes and stuffed a butter bun into Cleo's mouth. "Want to trap me with my words? Please." Cleo swallowed the bun in one quick chomp and mumbled, "Since you already have someone you like, are you still going on that blind date then?" If he couldn't find out more about the man of her dreams, this urgent mission at hand had to be clarified. Luna sighed. "I'd still have to go, or I have a lot of explaining to do, don't I? Wouldn't I embarrass my grandfather if I just bailed out on the date?" Theo's expression softened when he heard her reasoning. Actually, her answer was within his expectations, but he had a possessive bone in him that overrode all rationality. Even though he knew her valid reason, it was hard to calm his heart. Who could accept their own wife going on a blind date? The next day. In the morning, Luna brought little Treasure to hang out at the studio with her as she worked. Because she had a date with Elder George's grandson, she made a trip to the Goldberg Corporation in the evening to send little Treasure over. Even though this was not her first time to the company, every time she went there would still be many eyes watching her. All of them would have loved to take her mask off to see who she was. Once upstairs and out of the elevator, a young girl suddenly mustered the courage to rush in front of her to say, "Miss Millie, I love your movies very much. Could you help me please give me your autograph?" Luna raised her brows. Miss Millie? Who could it be? It dawned on Luna quickly. Was she misunderstood to be Millie? As she watched the girl's expression of anxious anticipation, she did not have the heart to reject her. Actually, she knew that this girl did not really want her autograph. She had intentionally come to test her identity. If she signed her autograph, then she would have silently admitted that she was Millie. If she didn't, then she obviously wasn't. Just as she stood there thinking about what to do, Theo walked towards her. When the girl saw Theo coming over, she scuttled away faster than a rabbit. Luna did not see clearly how she disappeared, but her shadow was gone within seconds. She didn't blame the girl for running away because the boss was not in a good mood today. This morning, he had already made the managers of several departments cry, and she was just a puny secretary, so to avoid being another victim of his, it was natural that she would hide as far away from him as she could. Theo saw Luna carrying little Treasure and his features tightened. He's already so old, does he still need to be carried? Little Treasure buried his head deeper into the scoop of Luna's shoulder as he looked guiltily. Auntie Luna, Daddy is scolding me. Chapter 578. Luna immediately patted Little Treasure's head and defended him. He's not too old, he's only 5. What Little Treasure needs now is not to grow up. What he needs is to return bit by bit to being 4 years old, 3 years old, 2 years old. He needs to relearn how to be a little kid. Theo sighed, then softened his tone. I'm just worried your arms will be tired. Then, he said in a low voice, Are you going over now? Luna looked at the time on her phone and replied, it's almost time for the date. Something flickered in Theo's eyes quite a few times before it finally returned to a steady gaze. Go, and take care. I will. Luna put down the little bun and gave him a big kiss as always. Outside the CEO's office, A manager held a stack of documents in his arms while his legs wobbled as he popped his quick-acting pill for his heart condition into the palm of his hand to prepare himself before he went in. Behind him, Cleo put an arm on the guy's shoulder and sighed as he shook his head. Don't bother taking it out, no pill can save you. Based on my brother's mood today, if you go inside right now, you'll just die. The manager turned to see who it was that made such a nerve-wracking comment. Second master, save me. You deserve it. When my brother was still in a good mood for the past few days, you dared to be lazy, now you're in bad luck. Cleo insulted heartlessly without thinking about how he himself was the master of laziness. Only this time, he was lucky not to get caught between a rock and a hard place. Second master, I still have some old folks and a few young ones to take care at home. My wife is also about to have a second child. The manager almost got down onto his knees to plead. Pfft. Are you trying to trigger the bachelor in me? Cleo exploded. I wouldn't dare. I definitely don't mean that. The manager looked miserable. Why did it seem like even second master had angry explosives for breakfast as well? Cleo scoffed a few times in exasperation and looked at his unlucky employee before saying kindly, don't go inside for your death row today. My brother won't have the mind to care about your issue, so quickly go settle your proposal properly before going in again. Okay, I'll go do that immediately. Thank you, second master, for the tip, the manager profusely said and gratefully hurried away. Cleo pushed the door into the office. He saw that the office had an additional tatami arranged by the window, obviously for the convenience of little treasure to watch for Auntie Luna's return. Cleo's mouth twitched in amusement. He could see her every day, so why was he still acting like he was waiting for her return after wins? Then, he looked at his brother who sat solemnly in front of his desk with a pen in his right hand and some documents on his left. He seemed like he was focused on work, but one look at his face and you would know that his mind was elsewhere. Cleo coughed lightly. Bro, are you sure you want to continue pretending to be so virtuous? Pretend further and you'll lose your wife. I'm just saying, you should have simply come up with a little plan to sabotage the dude from the Shi family so that he would not make it. Theo shot him a disgusted look. Do you think that Luna wouldn't have thought that I would be the one behind such a thing? In fact, that would not solve the root problem. How about I help you find a woman to pretend to be that dude's ex-girlfriend or something to cause a ruckus? That way, Luna could justifiably run away. Cleo continued to plague him with ideas. No way. The probability of being exposed on the spot was very high. No one was as careful as Theo, he would not use a plan with any loopholes. If this won't do and that won't either, what options do we have? Bro, it's not that I don't like listening to advice. Even though Luna said she was just going to explain herself to him, what if that guy coincidentally turns out to be the type that Luna likes? Anything is possible. Cleo said earnestly. Chapter 579. Theo put down the pen and grazed the desk lightly with his fingers. His eyes fell onto his son who was sitting on the tatami. Cleo followed Theo's gaze and looked over. Bro, what do you have in mind? Theo got up and walked over to his son, then he said, Little treasure, come, let's get you something to eat. Cleo then said, bro, you aren't thinking about. Pfft. I came up with so many ideas for him earlier and yet, he was not satisfied. Now, his ultimate idea was to bring his nuclear weapon, Little Treasure, to the front line? Very good, this was an idea worthy of the devil. The only problem was that a particular nuclear weapon was not being cooperative. When Little Treasure heard his father, he refused to get up from the mat and started to write on his writing board, full. Auntie Luna had already fed him well before she left. In fact, she had cooked for him herself. Theo pinched the spot between his brows, then changed his phrasing of his baiting sentence. I'll bring you to see Auntie Luna. Within 3 seconds, Little Treasure released his little hands from his chin to peer out of the window. He rolled off the tatami, put on his little shoes and flew to his father and opened up his short hands to be carried. Theo and Cleo were thunderstruck. This nuclear weapon had such a blatant weakness that left him vulnerable to control. Watching as the father and son prepared to leave, Cleo followed them. I want to eat too. Indeed, eat it was. Half an hour later, at a stylish Japanese restaurant. The Japanese restaurant retained the traditional short-legged tables to dine, whereby customers had to take off their shoes before entering, and then sit with their legs crossed. The dim lighting gave customers a sense of relaxed vibe. Before Luna's date arrived, she had already ordered a sake with low alcohol content to drink as she waited. She seemed not to notice that diagonally behind her, both the big and the small devils had already arrived together with Cleo. The moment they entered, Little Treasure could recognize Auntie Luna from her back and instantly wanted to run to her. Theo held his son back, stopping him firmly. No. Little Treasure's face tensed up, his face was written with unspoken questions, silently expressing, why not? You said you brought me here to see Auntie Luna. Theo looked down at his son and said, I did bring you to see Auntie Luna, but only to watch her. Little Treasure felt cheated. When he was brought to a seat behind Auntie Luna, Little Treasure was in a sullen mood. However, because Auntie Luna was just opposite him and he could see her when he looked up, her mood instantly became marginally better. After he sat down, Cleo looked at Luna, who was seated alone, and said, didn't Luna say they had decided on 7 o'clock? It's already 7:10. Being late on the first date, deduct his marks. Even though I've never seen Mason, I'm guessing he won't be tough competition. There might not even be an opportunity for our Little Treasure to make a move. Luna was about to finish her drink, having waited for about another 10 minutes, yet her date still had not arrived. Cleo was suddenly a little crestfallen. Could it be that he won't turn up at all? And to think that we were nervous for so long. The moment he said that, fair and slim fingers delicately held the curtain partition in front to open it. Then, a man in a nude-colored tuxedo walked in. The man had short, jet black hair with a long torso. His looks were not especially attractive, but his charisma was warm and refined, very easily making people comfortable with him and exuding trustworthiness. The most outstanding thing was a certain quiet appeal to him, something that could calm someone down and be in a state of peace within the ascetic realm. Whoa, this man has quality. The instant he saw the man, Cleo felt a niggling premonition in his heart. Chapter 580. May the Buddha bless for this person not to be. Cleo was about to say that he hoped this person was not Mason, but Theo beat him to it. Mason. Cleo was dumbfounded. Whoa. No way. Is he really Mason? That's him? As he was still in shock, he saw the man take his shoes off and courteously tell the waiter that he had a reservation. Then, he followed the waiter towards Luna's direction. Hello, Miss Brown. Luna had just finished the first pot of sake and was drinking the second pot of this restaurant's specially brewed cherry blossom liquor. When she heard someone speak to her in a soothing voice, she subconsciously looked up. Luna's demeanor immediately loosened up in seeing the man in front of her. Then she stood up to say, Yes, I'm Luna. Are you Mr. George? The man nodded. Nice to meet you. I'm Mason. I'm very sorry for making you wait for so long. No worries, have a seat. I haven't waited for terribly long, Luna assured him and sat down again. Mason took his blazer off and passed it to the waiter before sitting down as well. Mason sat upright, crossing his legs politely, while Luna, on the other hand, sat as she wished and rather boldly, with one leg bent and an arm on top of that knee. She was seated in a masculine way, unlike the regular girl who would sit down politely and behave by the rules of society. Yet, even so, her mannerisms did not exude any rudeness at all. She wore a wide flared pants with her favorite embroidered leather jacket. The way she sat seemed to give out a vibe of liberty and none of the rigid restrictiveness Japanese restaurants were usually known for. Luna had heard her grandfather say that the Shi family was an expert in jades and books, so the Shi family would most likely prefer gentle, friendly and knowledgeable women. Thus, to avoid unnecessary trouble, she decided to go against her better judgment and wore such an unladylike outfit. However, her plan did not seem to be fruitful, as the moment Mason saw her, not only did he react in disgust, in fact, respect and appreciation flashed his eyes. From behind, Cleo already anxiously started to bark, "Oh man, we're doomed." Those two wouldn't have met eye to eye, would they? Did you notice the look Luna had when she stood up to meet Mason? She was obviously stunned. She must have been charmed by him. In fact, the way Mason looks at Luna is full of admiration too. Damn it, shouldn't he prefer the type of girl who is the precious jewel of the family? Our Luna dressed like a wild child today. Theo seemingly sipped his tea calmly, although that would be if you didn't notice his tensed-up smile and the way his knuckles turned white from gripping the cup too tightly. Cleo was still trying hard to analyze. This Mason is pretty tricky. Even though he is not as handsome as I am, but that charisma of his is quite special. Even from my perspective as a man, I find it very attractive. He makes people want to involuntarily know and befriend him. And the scariest thing is, with a personality like Luna's unrestrained character, there is a high probability that she would like someone like Mason who is the total opposite of her. Suddenly, the cup in Theo's hand fell and shattered on the ground. Cleo gulped, his mouth turning dry. No, bro, I'm just simply guessing. There's definitely no way they will end up together. Didn't Luna say she already have someone she likes? She wouldn't like Mason. His brother's face turned a darker shade upon hearing his words.